so take two. Sorry. Hi, it's V. So I know it's been a while. I've been procrastinating, I will admit it. And then the camera tripod broke. So I'm a little fearful of doing this video. This is my diagnosis, journey, story, whatever. I prepared something with the help of my mom. I asked her some questions based off what I remember. I was very young. My mom doesn't have the best memory. I hope you just keep that in mind is all I'm trying to say. It's been a long time. But let's just get into. My mom said she started seeing patches on me around 8 months old. But they came and went, and the doctor told her not to worry about it. Like the pediatrician. Then around 2 or 3 years old, she said they became permanent, and then they started to spread. So I was like, I don't like the sound of that. That sounds awful, but okay. No, I'm all nervous again. My first time recording, I cried and stuff, and I want to tell you what happened, but I also don't want to blabber on the internet again. Yeah, so they became permanent when I was 2 or 3. She doesn't remember exactly, and I don't know. And then they started to spread, and then she took me to a doctor, and they told her that I had wingworm and that I should stop playing in the dirt and touching stray cats, which I didn't do either. I was an indoor kid, and I was such an indoor kid that I like this story. The school called my mom like, hey, is anything wrong with your daughter? She's not outside playing during recess. She's on the bench reading. I don't know. I feel silly. My mom, she was feeling scared and nervous, so she went to multiple doctors who couldn't really tell her anything, so they just referred her to a dermatologist. I couldn't get a clear answer. So I asked my questions of my mom, but then she tends to ramble. And then I get caught up in the conversation, and then I forget what I asked, and then I realized later that I didn't get an answer to the thing I was. It happens, right? I hope you guys like some of my. I don't know if I framed it, but then I forgot what is in view. But I hope you can see some of my art and like it. Anyways, I don't know if you can see this. It's just, I think it is in view. I'm so bad, but I'm pretty sure my bubbles are in view, and I'm gonna have those done soon. It's bubbles and wine. It's Art Sherpa. A YouTube tutorial. Art Sherpa YouTube tutorials. Magical. Yeah, the dermatologist did a biopsy, and that was it, I guess. I had psoriasis, so they started giving me creams, and they gave me some steroid creams and some other medicines. My mom didn't say which medicine exactly, but it was around that time they gave me medicine that made me gain a lot of weight. And I took the steroid creams for years. Had a lot of side effects. It made my skin burn, and I didn't know that at the time. I just thought the skin burn was a part of the psoriasis, and it just skin burns and itchy. It feels like bullet ants biting me, hands cracking and bleeding. Falling on the concrete as a kid with psoriasis just rips open everything and so much blood. I think that's why I didn't really play outside, because if I played too hard, I end up hurting myself. I was clumsy and very clumsy. A lot of my stories are me falling, to be totally honest. So, I had to be careful. My skin's kind of delicate and it rips easily. Like, if I scratch too hard, it rips. And, like, I know that's a uniquely me problem. Like, every psoriasis is different, so just because my psoriasis is like this doesn't mean that your psoriasis is like this. It's an interesting thing I learned in the psoriasis support groups on Facebook. Psoriasis can come in so many ways. It could be better, it could be worse. It'll always get better, and it'll always get worse. It's the whole wheel. I know that the medicines they gave me doubled, and I'm sorry. I feel so weird and awkward. So around 8 years old, I remember the medicine, the cream that they gave me, just like making me cry all the time, and I started to refuse to take it. And I was a rambunctious, stubborn child, opinionated, and I told my mom I was gonna not take it anymore, and that was that. I did that a lot. I remember running from my mom to take medicines. She did the right thing. I mean, what else are you gonna do as a parent with a sick child? Give him the medicine the doctor has prescribed. But the doctors, I feel like, didn't know much about psoriasis then, and a lot of things that they gave kids back then. Yeah, so I don't blame my mom for giving me the medicines, but they made me feel worse. I broke out in hives. It wasn't a great time to be highly medicated all the time. It sucked. To be completely frank, I hated going to the doctor. We don't know what's wrong. Oh, that might not be part of it. But I can't go from memory. I have what I wrote here, because then I'm just lost. So, I would skip using the creams at first, and then I just outright refused to use them. And so all this happened when before my brother was born, and my brother was born when I was 10. So that's how I know when some of these things happen, is by when my brother was born. So I mean, like, almost from the beginning, another struggle I had that involved psoriasis was just taking baths. I hated taking showers, and baths were a little better, but I didn't like either one. And they would leave me crying and sobbing, and I even have a cousin who one of their early memories is of me crying after a shower. I guess it was just an ongoing problem for me, and my mom tried to help me, but my dad had to take over. He figured out that I needed to take lukewarm baths rather than hot ones. And my dad figured out that, you know, most of the soaps out there dry my skin out. So for a while I was using shampoo and conditioner to lather and then like moisturize my skin, I think my dad's thoughts were. I'm not sure, I can't talk to my dad. He passed away 2 years ago. But yeah, my dad figured out lots of little things like that. There's some medicine that I'm allergic to. It gives me hives. Well, there's a medicine, but I don't really want to discuss what medicine it is. But it was during my childhood, under 10 years old, that they prescribed me some medicines. Things soft enough for children to use, more natural things. And I was allergic. More natural. So my parents decided to go to a doctor of traditional medicine. I don't know the details, and my mom didn't remember either, and my dad's not here to ask, and it was his friend of a friend who told us about this this man, and I don't really remember much other than, like, I guess I knew his house felt different, but as a kid, you don't know how to say why it feels different. And then it had a strong smell because he was burning incense. It was the first time I ever heard or seen incense. Was that, oddly? I remember watching it burn. He gave us a bunch of medicine, teas, herbal teas. And the saga was long. My mom and I thought about every medicine I took, especially the teas. I hated the teas. That's how I was introduced to teas. I should have taken them maybe, but they were gross. They were disgusting. And I would hide from my mom under tables. She's like, you need to take your tea. I was a little shit. I'll admit that. So, I hate tea to this day, honestly. I'd rather drink water than tea. Oh, but water's so good, so that's not me saying much. I like water more than a lot of things. I kind of shut down after that. I stopped complaining about my skin. It was more like, do you feel that bad? You need to go to the hospital. Let's go see the doctor. Maybe he'll give you some more medicines. Or, you're making an excuse. Stop lying. Just keep it to yourself. I made a whole other video about those feelings, and I don't want to get deep into it, but through all of this, all the doctor's appointments, I was severely bullied. A big aspect, I feel like, of my childhood was hiding from people and their looks and what they said. Finding little places like under the stairs or in the parked cars at big birthday parties that my dad's family used to hold, or I don't know, just the backyard, anywhere where I was alone and could do what I wanted, like read or something. I don't know, but I feel like I was always hiding from mean people and bullies, and I don't want to go too into my family, but they weren't nice or supportive in any way. I'm not talking about like my sister and my children. The children, I should say, because there was I was one of the oldest cousins, so there wasn't many cousins around. Most of my uncles and stuff were pretty young, I understand, so there's a lot of family, just one of many, so I didn't have a support system at all. That's all I'm just trying to say. I don't want to put anybody on blast, but there's more than one there was more than one undiagnosed mental disorder, mood disorder in the family, and It's not shade, it's not tea, it's not nothing. It's just a reality that people in the past were not allowed or even aware. I totally understand what it was like up until pretty recently. Still, there's plenty of people in this world who would look down on you for being, I don't know, not being, for having borderline personality disorder, bipolar, schizophrenia, DID. Like, it's not your fault for, and the only thing you could do is just kind of go to therapy and work through your trauma, you know? God. I took some time to write down some of the mean things I was hiding from as a kid. Or I wrote some things people used to say to me, and I just wanted to share some of the things I was hiding from. Maybe I'm taking too long to get to this, but these are things both adults and children said to me while I was a kid, or said in my earshot. Some people didn't even whisper. They wanted me to know what they thought of me. They wanted me to know that I should stay away. So it'd be like, look at her. Look at her skin. What do you think is wrong with her? Ew, what's wrong? You're gross. Don't touch me. I don't want to catch your disease. Are you contagious? Take a shower, nasty. You have wingworm. Take a shower. I don't know if I've said that. I even had one person jump away from me. I always had a hard time. I know people spend more time looking at my psoriasis than making eye contact with me. A lot of people spend a lot. It happens less now, but when I was younger and it was a lot worse, people treated me like a freak, and I had it covered, but I had it like I do now. I have it on my face. I have it on my hands. I have it on my arms. I have it on 75% of my body. So people have big reactions to it. People used to argue with me about what I had. I've had people ask me while I was at work if they could touch my psoriasis, because they're going to school for nursing and they want to know what psoriasis is really like. It's one of the diseases they're fascinated by. And I was just like, oh, okay, sure. And then it's awkward. I feel more like a science freak or something. I don't know, a freak of science. That's what I feel like, a freak of science. Sometimes I'm so silly. But it was really hard. So I got into learning and reading and history and anime and books. I loved books and writing. I wrote in a diary. I wrote stories. I blasted music. I got into punk rock and just rock in general. I'm still into all that. I'm really glad and thankful that I was able to find an outlet in that, in the fantasy world, in writing, and listening to music, in the fantasy world of Inuyasha, Dragon Ball Z. Pretend that I was someone else. Pretend that I wasn't covered in psoriasis. I don't know, I wanted to share my story. I've seen some really amazingly inspiring people on Instagram talking about their experiences, and I wish somebody would go on YouTube and talk about it, because it is very isolating. And it's just like, I know I'm not alone in this, so like, let me try reaching out myself. Like, if I think somebody should be making these videos, then maybe I should be making these videos. So that's my thought process. I don't know what I have no ulterior motive or anything besides just wanting to share and connect with people. I never had a support system of people until now. Now I have one person. Not true, I have a few people. I'm just being dramatic. I'm glad I didn't let the bullying get to me, and now I know, and now I'm glad to be in a place, in a time where if you're bullied, you're not just told to lose weight, like I was. I went to school officials more than once about being bullied in school, and they told me to, was it, lose some weight and maybe nobody would bully me. Though they were bullying for my weight and my psoriasis. And I was overweight because of my psoriasis, because of the medicines I took for my psoriasis. But I should just lose weight and man up or something, whatever you want to call it.